That right there was some of the crowd in Centennial, Colorado. Colorado in general, from Centennial to Colorado Springs to Denver and everywhere near there, is absolutely livid and pissed at the Trump regime. I'll show you just what the No Kings look like in Denver right here. Here, play this clip. Huge crowds there, about 15,000 people also separately in Colorado Springs. You know, Colorado, like many states, has come under attack by the Trump regime, and you've seen the Republican representatives there just allow it to take place. And it's been, you know, an attack on people's health care, an attack on people's SNAP, an attack on businesses. I mean, you look in Colorado Springs, let's take that district, Colorado's 5th, for example. You have Donald Trump taking away the Space Command there in a district that's has a Republican Congress member, Jeff Crank. And just think about the brain drain that's lost, the jobs that are lost, and that was sent to Huntsville, Alabama as part of Donald Trump's retribution tour. And you have someone like Cranks out there, Republican Congress member, who tries to originally try to present himself to the community like a moderate, and then was revealed himself as just being full MAGA, when he does things like support the disastrous budget bill, which has real harmful impacts on the people in the state. It's like an attack on the state. And then they brag about it. I mean, here's Jeff Cranks right here. You'll see him on the House floor bragging about the budget bill that is now really harming people in Colorado and across the country. Let's play it.
And this one big, beautiful bill does this and more. It extends the Trump tax cuts. It bolsters our national defense, and it helps secure our southern border. And don't believe the demagoguery of those who, for political purposes, mislead the American people and scare them. Holding out for personal agendas holds back the president's America First policies. And I urge my colleagues to join me in making America strong, secure, and to deliver on the promises we made to the citizens of our great nation.
All we see is Donald Trump doing great Gatsby parties at Mar-a-Lago with half-naked women in martini glasses, golden ballrooms, demolishing the East Wing of the White House, hanging out with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, doing business deals for himself. But I don't know, that's not what America First seems to be. Another data point on Cranks, Virginia Giuffre's family tried to meet with him, and he refused to meet with them. Obviously, Giuffre, she died by suicide, one of the children trafficked by Epstein, and her family lives in that district, and they wanted to meet with their congressperson, and their congressperson said, nope, not meeting with you, and he's complicit in the cover-up of a child sex trafficking ring. I can't believe I have to say that, but he's complicit in the cover-up. You just take a look at the latest Marist poll about the 2026 midterm elections. Democrats currently have a 14-point lead against Republicans on the 2026 generic ballot. When last asked in November, it was 48 to 48%. Among independents, Democrats have a plus 33-point advantage. I want to bring in Jessica Killin for Colorado's 5th Congressional District, the Democratic candidate who's running. Jessica, it's great to see you there. I know you're humble, so let me just give some people your background before talking further. 4th generation Coloradan, Army veteran, public servant. You are a paratrooper and captain in the U.S. Army. You dedicated your career to improving the livelihoods of Americans, over a decade working at USAA, where you work to protect military families who are seeing under attack as veterans' rights and veterans' benefits are being taken away by this regime. I want to focus on this district. One, you're a very compelling candidate in person, but it's a flippable district because of the betrayal that we're seeing from the Republicans in Colorado's 5th. So when people talk about Democrats retaking control of the House, it's seats like yours that are really the ones in play. Talk to us about that, Jessica.
That's exactly right. And thank you so much for having me on, Ben. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit about this seat, because I do believe, as you just mentioned, that the chance to flip the House is going to run through Colorado's 5th Congressional District. And we're going to make Jeff Crank a one-term wonder. I had not seen that clip before, but it's pretty rich that he's talking about putting politics over people, because that's exactly what Jeff Crank has done his entire time in office. He has not been serving the people of this community. This is the fastest Democratic trending district in the entire country. As you noted, it is completely flippable. We just put out a poll out that shows me basically neck and neck with Jeff Crank. And the bottom line is all the things you just brought up. I have gotten to live my version of the American dream because I had the tools in my toolbox and was able to work hard and do that. And too many people in my district and too many people across this country feel that the American dream is out of reach to them. They feel disaffected by government. They don't feel like government is working for them. And Jeff Crank and Donald Trump's policies are only making that worse. And it is why we need to elect people who are actually going to put people over politics, who are going to fight for their constituents, who are going to fight to improve wages and get rid of the affordability crisis here in this country, to build out a robust middle class. And honestly, just do the basic blocking and tackling of being a member of Congress, showing up, listening to your constituents, working across the aisle to actually come up with solutions rather than siloing ourselves. And I think everyone is just sick and tired of the same old crap. And that's all Jeff Crank has been providing. And people are ready for change here.
I mean, at the most basic level, I think we expect a Congress member not to affirmatively hurt the constituents. Like when you show up to a doctor and you do, an annual checkup or whatever, you don't expect to leave with the doctor punching you in the face, breaking your leg, and sending you to the emergency room. And so Crank advertised himself, look, I'm a moderate guy. I'm here to help. Don't worry. And his actions just objectively have been a threat and a net negative and caused harm to the district. Like, it's just a weird thing when your representative hurts the district. I mean, and again, you'd be like, oh, well, you're being hyperbolic. No. I mean, Space Command's removed, people in the community are like quite literally like under attack from within by their own Congress member. And then he's out there we'll get to this later, but then he's out there covering up the Epstein files from his own constituents who are the Epstein victims. It's wild.
It's honestly bananas, and it's antithetical to, as you mentioned, I've worked in and around Congress most of a decent chunk of my career. And, I think what people want is first of all, for Congress to do its job. And when I think about what Congress's job is, as I mentioned, it's to represent the people of your community and to listen to them, even if they disagree with you, which Jeff Crank seems wholly incapable of doing. It also means being a good steward of taxpayer dollars and putting our country $4 trillion into debt just to provide tax breaks essentially to billionaires. In what is essentially a regressive tax cut it's immoral. And then in addition to that, let's talk about the tariffs that are creating all sorts of havoc on our economy and our small businesses in my community. Jeff Crank and Congress, their responsibility is to put a check on that. That is the tax and spend power of Congress. I think people have seemed to have forgotten what Congress's job is. Certainly Jeff Crank has. And I am out here in my district reminding my community of what Congress should be doing and what Jeff Crank should be doing. And I'm reminding Jeff Crank of what he should be doing.
Then his constituents, are the family of the Epstein.
Yeah.
Sadly, Virginia, I was going to say survivor. Sadly, she died by suicide, and she showed such admirable strength. But her family lives in that district. Her brother's there, and we often see her brother on TV. And he's been one of the real outspoken people to release these files. And all he wanted to do was to meet with his Congress member and just meet and just say, hey, here's who I am. Can you just hear me out here? Which, by the way, any constituent should be able to do about any issue, yet alone the cover up of a child sex trafficking ring. And the Congress member said, no, I don't want to meet with you. Go away. Get out of here. Scram. if that doesn't make this guy unqualified for the job,
100%.
I would not put on my resume and expect to be hired for a job covered up child sex trafficking ring and wouldn't talk to my own constituent. But that's Crank's.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly just sort of sad and pathetic. Yes, Sky, who's Virginia Giuffre's brother, reached out to Crank's office well over at least a couple months ago. No response. Did an event out in front of his office. Still no response. And I think we should all be able to get around like transparency and standing up against pedophilia. I mean, that seems like a 99-1 issue, but apparently Jeff Crank is on the side of the one, and supporting victims. This is an absolute tragedy for Virginia Giuffre and her family, but all the victims, and reportedly close to 1,000 victims. And it's obviously he voted the right way, finally. But trust me when I tell you, he wouldn't have voted the right way had Trump not given him the allowance to do that. And I think that's the other thing that so many people in my district are frustrated with, is just having no courage, no sense of leadership. Being a true leader is standing up to your party when you need to. And he's been completely unwilling, unable to do that. The only reason he voted the right way on the bill and finally voted to release the files is because Trump gave him the ability to do that.
Look, the folks in El Paso County, which encompasses Colorado Springs, one of the words I would use to describe them, amongst many great words, is very like pragmatic, common sense, solution oriented, business community, like let's get stuff done, no theatrics and dramatics, which is why at the end Cranks tried to invoke that while he himself was Mr. Theatrics and doing the things that he was saying that we shouldn't be. But that's the thing. I mean, when we talk about the government shutdown that took place, there's so much there to talk about. But ultimately, for me, I took it back to 5th grade Schoolhouse Rocks and government class, which is that the only way this American experiment works is where you have serious people who talk to each other and try to reach compromise and don't go nanny, nanny, poo, poo, I'm not talking to you. And I think the American people saw Republicans taking a vacation, people like Crank not showing up, avoiding town halls, avoiding meetings with people, not like doing the things you expect and not trying to be constructive. And it's like, I didn't send you there to just be a yes person for Donald Trump on every issue. And what is that? We need you to exercise independence and represent us here in Colorado Springs. And you failed at that. So to me, that's a major issue. And I'll give you the final word.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly. We send members of Congress to actually represent their districts. And he has failed on all fronts. I think that is 100% why this district is in play. I mean, it's been trending in leftward for a long time, but people are now realizing, and this is the interesting thing of being in a swing district, that they want and deserve better leadership in Congress. They want someone who's going to actually listen to them. And to your point, Ben, there is more that brings us together and unites us than divides us. And people are sick of leaders or lackless leaders like Jeff Crank, who only focus on what divides us. And so I'm out in the community focusing on what's going to bring us together, focusing on the policies that are going to actually make a difference to the people of El Paso County and the people of this country. And make no mistake, we must put a check on the lawlessness, the corruption, and the overreach of the Trump administration. And the only way we can do that is to flip the House in 2026. And this district, Colorado's 5th, is part of that path to taking the House back. So I'd really appreciate your support, the support of your listeners. Go to killinforcolorado.com, KILLIN for Colorado. Would love to have your support and would love you to hear more about my race.
Jessica Killin, thanks for joining us. Important race. Everybody learn more about the campaign. Say the address one more time for everybody, Jessica.
killinforcolorado.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.